Danilo Gallinari has been a topic of conversation lately since coming off of his back injury. How do you think that his couple of minutes a night affects this team?
Well, I don't think it has any effect at all, really, other than that he's a ninth body in the rotation that can get minutes, and I think he does. At home, he definitely gives a buzz when he's got the ball. The crowd certainly really responds to him. They want to see him do well, and that's an exciting thing. I think they're keeping him very much as a role player right now. They don't want to put too much responsibility on him. He can shoot the ball a little bit, and we've seen, and he's very he's not timid at all, and he'll challenge, which you like. And there's things about him that we're starting to learn already, which, number one, for a guy that doesn't move very well and not very fluid, he's a pretty good defensive player because he's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that he's got to do is he's just got to gain some weight. I mean, the guy's shorts are falling off him when he runs up the floor because he just doesn't have any legs, he doesn't have any rear end, he's got nothing. And I think, that's the most important thing. When Trevor Ariza is shoving you around on the court, that just lets you know that you got to put some weight on. And I mean, he's 20 years old. He's got a lot of growing to do, absolutely.
He's got time.
There's plenty of time with him. The positive thing is, A, he's playing and he's healthy, and B, he definitely knows what he's doing. I mean, he could play. He's got it. So I think that's the most promising thing, is that this is a player, again, like we mentioned with David Lee, this is a player that you can definitely build with, and he's got something in the future that, he's going to be a good player, and the stronger he gets and the older he gets and the more experience he gets, sky's the limit, I think. He's got unlimited potential, if you ask me.
If you had to put a bet on it, who's the Celtic that's dropping 50 tomorrow night?
Paul Pierce.
Paul
Pierce.
Ray Allen made reference to it tonight before the game. He was joking around. And they figured, the only thing left to finish the week is to see if Paul Pierce can get 50 now and have three players in a row get over 50 points. And I can see Paul Pierce going for it because he's that kind of player, and he certainly can score. But it's different when the Celtics play the Knicks. It's different. You're not going to hear anybody in the crowd cheering for the Celtics, at least not loudly. And I don't think the Knicks would. I just don't think they play the same way against the Celtics. I think the Knicks play them with a bit more of a chip on their shoulder, and there's enough history between those two teams that I just don't see them letting that happen for a third night, especially it being the Celtics, and especially being a big mouth like Paul Pierce. So I'd be really surprised if there was another huge outburst like there was the last two nights.
We're talking to Alan Hahn on the Sports Wire and WCWP. One last question. We got some time. What do you think about the NBA putting in Horse for the All-Star Festivities?
I don't know. You know what? I honestly think that the only two things that are worth watching in All-Star Saturday is the slam dunk contest and the three-point contest. Those were my two favorites as a kid. The only two that I really care watching, and anything after that kind of gets silly. I can only imagine the disaster that Horse is going to be. How long that's going to take. But, it's the league. They like to do things. They like to change it up and try it and see what happens. But, for me, I'll DVR Saturday, and I'll keep an eye on the slam dunk and the three. But other than that, I could care less.
I don't know. I have high hopes for Horse. I think it's an everyman game. What if
you've ever played it, you know how long it takes.
Yeah, that is true. What about a layup contest?
Yeah. Why don't we get to that point, right? I mean, it does kind of get. I mean, it does kind of get silly. Some of the different things that they try to do. I mean, trick shots is kind of cool, and but it's it's akin to like the NHL, and the shootout can be fun if you take chances. But if you're just going to skate up to the goalie and shoot straight on, well, who wants to watch that?
Right.
It's kind of the same thing. So, if you're going to do some crazy tricks, that's great. But when it comes down to it, you're just going to take shots that you can make. It's like anything when you play horse. Like you said, when you play against somebody and you play horse yourself, it's the everyman game. But what does the everyman do? You play against the guy and you see the shot he can't make, so you just keep taking it until he loses, and it's over. It becomes anticlimactic. So, I don't know. I like to see creativity, which is why I love the slam dunk contest so much. And the three-point shooting contest, to me, is just the ultimate skill, because that's just that's an incredible test of endurance and accuracy. And there's no really other contest you can come up with that could be that compelling.
You're making it sound like horse will be so boring. Like everybody will be taking shots like everywhere just to win the game. There won't be any creativity.
I honestly think it'll start out where guys might try to take, behind the backboard or off the shot clock, and but after a while you run out of things because, like I said, you can't. You have to make the shot. So we'll be there all night if you're just taking shots and then not going in. I mean, there's very few people in the world, that can dunk commercial with Jordan and Bird. That's just it's just reality sets in. Like, all right, it's like Nate Robinson in the dunk contest a couple of years ago. It took him 15 tries and he finally got it. It was like, all right, great, he got it, but who cares?
That was great.
All right, since you like the dunk contest so much, who's winning? It's Dwight. It's Nate Robinson, Rudy Fernandez, someone who escapes me right now. Who's winning this contest?
You forgot about Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay.
I honestly, you know what? I think Nate Robinson's going to win the title back, but I there's something about Rudy Fernandez and the way he gets off the ground, and I don't know if he's got tricks. That's the only thing, because the guy's an incredible leaper and he's really good on the alley-oop, and if they came up with some good ones, but I don't know what his creativity is all about, so I'm not sure on that one. But I have a feeling that Nate's got a few things up his sleeve to steal the title back, just from talking to him. So, my gut says Nate, but I want, because Dwight Howard, what he did was incredible last year. But he's still 6'11", and it's the power is impressive, but we're gonna, you run out of things to do, and the cape was the big thing. I mean, that was hilarious,
Right.
But, I've suggested a few things to Nate myself. I came up with one that was, I said to him, put on, you should come out with a Mighty Mouse shirt. And I thought about doing that. And then I said the other one would be to put the Phoenix Sun Gorilla thing on, because they were going to be in Phoenix, and put because the Gorilla does some incredible dunks during the halftime show and everything like that there in Phoenix. So I said, see if they'll give you the mascot's outfit and put it on. He said they wouldn't let him. So he already asked about that one. So we had a few, and then I had one where I said, well, I'll type with my laptop pretending I'm working, and then you just run to the basket, I'll just throw the ball up and you catch it and throw it down. But he's going to come up. He'll come up with something definitely to counter Dwight Howard, and it should be interesting. But that contest to me is always fun because people come up with some pretty clever things to do, and it's enjoyable to watch.
There you go. Alan Hahn, opportunistic, trying to get himself into the slam dunk show. I'll put my money on Dwight. I'll bet you on that, Alan.
All right, I'll take it.
Alan Hahn from Newsday, everyone. Read him in Newsday and on Newsday.com. Alan, thank you for coming on.
You got it. No problem.
I appreciate it.